What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be talking about something in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM lads. So this is going to be a video about the new cards that came out. It's going to be a video about the new celebrity cards and why I think 2K have screwed up massively. Because I was like, I like the celebrity cards. I really do. Like, I got the cards straight away. And this is why I think 2K like royally screwed up. I think this was a screw up that they didn't think was going to happen, and I can see their logic around it being like, oh, we don't want people to use these guys online, just like the My Career cards. But for this one specific thing, I think this one specific thing is going to end up biting them in the ass, and I'm going to explain in very great detail why what they did could have been a good thing and how the precedent that it has set is a genuine bad precedent in MyTEAM. So basically what it is there are 3 celebrity cards. There is Ronnie 2K, there is the booster, and then there is the and not only is like that rapper a booster in Park, the guy's wagered people, doesn't pay his wager. Like, he's a legit scammer in the community and he gets a celebrity card. But one of the interesting things, if you go into TT Online 100, and obviously Ronnie and Quavo, legitimate celebrity. If you got to try to use Ronnie, look at this. 1 or more of your players cannot be used in multiplayer games. Please edit your lineup and try again. So lads, you can't even use the guys. You cannot even use the guys. So like, we're looking at these cards right here, and anyone who did want to use themselves a Quavo can't use Quavo. Anyone wanted to use themselves a Ronnie 2K, you can't use them. Or anyone want to use themselves a OJ Mayo, the booster, you can't use him. Is he small forward, power forward, or no? He's here. Where is he? Here. And you can't use these guys in multiplayer modes. So what has now happened is you guys can't use these guys. The people that we're trying to get, you can't even use them online. They're terrible, by the way. They're absolutely terrible. But you can't use them online. And let me explain why this is the single dumbest thing that they could have done in this situation. And again, I know people are going to be watching this video and are really pissed that I've called it the single dumbest thing, but it is, and let me explain why. So, what is happening right now is that these cards being added into the game well and truly kind of puts a split in the player base. However, there are players that are going to stop playing the game mode of MyTEAM because of this. However, I think if this was ran properly, more new players would come in due to celebrity cards than players lost due to celebrity cards. So, for example, there could be like a 45-year-old basketball purist. These cards, once they see these cards, they're probably done with MyTEAM. And that's fine. Because while the 45-year-old basketball purist is gone, the 14-year-old Migos fan is suddenly hyped to get the cards in-game. However, it's about keeping players in the game, not just bringing them in. So, if, for example, that 14-year-old Migos fan goes and gets Quavo and realizes he can't even play the game with Quavo, he's going to stop playing the game. So, what ends up happening is that you're losing not a large chunk of the player base, you are losing a chunk of the player base from cards like this. There are so many people that when they see unrealistic things in the game, stop playing. And when they see this, you better believe even more people are going to walk away from the game. However, if this was done properly, if you could actually use these cards, more new players would be in. Because you better believe every one of us was looking forward to putting Ronnie 2K on the end of our bench. And as soon as we played against a trash talker or something, and then just trolling and putting Ronnie 2K on the floor. The amount of people that would wanted mixtapes with Quavo, destroying people online, but you cannot use these online. Like, it's like they don't know their target audience. They don't know what the target audience of these cards are. Like, all they're doing right now is the target audience of these cards. People only wanted these cards to go and drop people off with them, and now they can't do it. So you've pissed off the people that actually wanted the cards. You've pissed off the people that want the game to be realistic. You have pissed off the entire player base with this, by the way. Like, there is nobody that is going to look at this situation that you cannot use them online and saying, there's not one person when you can't use them online and said, you know what, I kind of like this. Every single person, once they click on this and see, oh, you can't use in multiplayer games, the best case scenario is they're going to feel neutral about it. The best case scenario is they're going to be like, you know what, I don't care. And like, if that ends up happening, you've struck gold, 2K. If it turns out that people are neutral on this, you've struck gold. However, people just, I know I've said the word however a bunch of times, because there's no other word to like describe it. There's just like, there's no reason for them to have done what they've done. There's actually no reason. Because the cards aren't good. The cards aren't good. Nobody wants to use these guys anyway online unless they're trolling. Let people troll. Like, there's no other reason to have these cards in the game. Like, nobody like legitimately, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, there is not one person in the world that legitimately wants to use Ronnie 2K for any other reason than to troll people. And I'm sorry, Ronnie, if you're watching this video. I'm sorry, people that work with Ronnie that I know for a fact are watching this video. There is not one person in the world. Like, Ronnie is unbelievable at his job. He is a legitimate celebrity. Anyone complaining that he's not a celebrity and shouldn't be in the game are just straight up wrong. He is a celebrity. He's rightfully in the first batch of celebrities. But you better believe, like, Ronnie, the only reason anyone, including myself, wants to use Ronnie 2K is to troll. But we can't even do that. We can't even do that. We can't, like, who the hell wants to use Quavo? Just to use Quavo in a mode where you're not, like, people don't actively care that much about offline. People do care about offline mode, sorry. People do, but people don't care about what the players they use in offline modes. Like, no one's going to care that much about using, like, a Quavo in an offline mode. Just let us use them online. Like, you have misread the room completely, 2K. You've completely misread the room. Because this is not going to bring in new players. Like, I understand the purpose of all this, of these celebrity cards, is for hype, is to bring in new players. And I think that the celebrity concept can do it. I like the idea of it. I like bringing in WNBA players. The game mode is so unrealistic as it is that stuff like that is something that I genuinely think can be a good thing. I think the celebrities can be a good thing. But what you've done right now is you have not only pissed off the quote-unquote, for lack of a better word, the old heads, the basketball purists, the people that want just MyTEAM to just be every single player plays like they do in real life. You've not only pissed off them, and like, you know you've pissed off them. Like, there's no question about it. Like, they made the decision knowing that they would piss off those type of people. And that's perfectly fine. Like, those are, like, if you lose one of those and gain 2 new players because of the celebrities, it's all worth it. However, you're not going to gain a single player because of this. There is not a single player, well, obviously, in terms of, like, in the single player, there might be a single player. But there is not a while there are going to be thousands that quit the game mode because of this one specific thing, there are not going to be that same amount of people coming into the mode. Whereas if you just let us play with them online, I could guarantee you there'll be double the amount of new people in the mode. That's what I always said, and I was like, you know what, the celebrity concept could be really cool. Because, for example, a celebrity gets the car, or for example, like, when a bunch of, like, big influencers are like, okay, yeah, let's go and use Quavo in the game. It might bring them into the game. However, not being allowed to use them online doesn't do that. You really think you're going to see any of these big streamers playing 2K? Like, maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they wouldn't anyway if you were able to do these online. But it went from being a slight chance of that happening to a 0% chance of that happening. There's no big streamers that are going to sit there and play freaking bots, that are going to sit there and play triple threat offline with Ronnie 2K as a stream, unless, of course, you're paying them to do it. I mean, that's a different story. If you guys, as we all know, they do pay people to play their game. Unless, like, the only people that are going to actually do anything to promote this are people on your payroll. Like, this is not a good, like, the celebrity idea is good. It is dumb what you've done right now. You have basically told the guys that want realism, obviously they're going to leave at some stage. You've basically lost a bunch of the players that want realism. You've lost all of them. They're gone. They're not coming back. However, by not letting us play them online, you're not gaining the Migos fans that want to cook people with Quavo. Those fans aren't coming into MyTEAM. Whereas if you just let us use them online, those fans will come in. And because this is the precedent they've set, any of these, like, novelty cards aren't going to be usable online. Which means there's no point. There's actually no point. So, When we see a Henry DBG card later on in the year, you're not even, like, Henry's not even going to really be able to promote him. Like, hypothetical situation, if we get a Henry DBG card, Henry's not even going to be able to promote him because you're not going to let him use him on himself online. Like, I don't know how this was thought through. I don't know what the conversation was, but it's a bad idea. It is a bad idea, what you've done. This is a really bad decision. It is objectively a bad decision because there are so many bad things with it. Depending on your outlook, there are a lot of different situations where people will say it's bad. There is not one situation where anyone's opinion of this situation will be more than... There's not one scenario where anyone's opinion of what happened today is higher than neutral, which is a bad thing, which is a really bad thing. People can be neutral on this. A lot of people just don't care. In general, like, I'm obviously hyping it up for the camera. At the end of the day, I don't care. I really don't care. The only thing I care about is people coming into the game. And I'm a little bit pissed off that that's not going to happen. And if anything, we're going to freaking lose players because of this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what your opinion is. If you don't care, that's perfectly fine. And it's perfectly fine if you don't care. A lot of people won't care. But the thing is, that's the thing. People either are not going to care or they're going to hate it. There's nobody. I love the idea of celebrity cards. And I'm now in the I don't really care. I think it's fine. I think they screwed up here, but it's nothing now. I'm in the neutral camp, and I'm probably going to be one of the more positive people. Obviously, I'm angry in a video, but in general, if you're talking to me about it, I'm probably going to be one of the more positive people. I was the one saying that we should have been doing this, but no, it was done badly. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.